Hey crafty friends, welcome to day one of Magnolia's 12 Days of Christmas. My name's Heidi Scott. My page is DIY Dreaming with Heidi Scott. And today we're going to be making some gifts for Christmas or for really any occasion using these two beautiful pieces of one stencil. Okay, we're going to be using a lighthouse, and then we're going to be using this, and I'll tell you all about this in just a second. What we're going to be making is a beautiful tea towel. I'll show you how to paint a blue ombre effect, and then we're going to stencil it with 2 layers. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you this project that I've been working on for the last day or so. It's a Christmas present for a family member for their lake house, and it is one of these 15 by 15 shelf sitters that you can get from Magnolia. And it has these 2 pieces on it, and I used just some gold paint to make it look like it was gilded around the edges, and I think it's going to be beautiful for their lake house. So, okay, so let's jump into the actual project. Like I said, we're going to be making a tea towel, and this is where we're headed, sort of. I'm going to do a little variation of it today. I'm going to be using some tea towels that are just white. These are the nicer ones, and I believe that you can get these from Magnolia. They are 20 by 30 inches. They're really nice. They have the little hook in the corner. They're cotton. They wash really nice. And before I came live here, I just took a few minutes to use some masking tape to sort of section off the area that I wanted to be working on. So let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do an ombre effect using blue ink, also from Magnolia, and they have several colors of blue. Today, I think I've decided that I'm going to use this sapphire blue, but you could use the berry blue, or you could use the, what is this called? Vivid cerulean, or any, you can do this effect with any color that you would like, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to mix it up. And I'm just going to take a little blob. What you want to do is you want to start darker, and then we're going to add water to it as we're going along to make it more and more diluted, and that will lighten the color. So I'm going to just actually pour some water in here to start our project. And find your cruddiest brush you can locate. I'm just going to mix this up. You want to definitely protect your clothing and protect your area where you're working. So I have underneath me my Magnolia surface, and I also have a piece of cardboard cake plate. And I'm going to be using some paper towels. So while I'm getting this mixed up, let me just tell you about this design. It's called Lighthouse of Truth, and it was one of the first collaborations that Magnolia did with any of their creators, and that creator was me. It is an idea that I had been wanting for a while, to have a stencil that had some script on it that you could use as a background. And on my page DIY Dreaming, I do a ton of faith Christian crafts, and so I wanted it to have a faith basis. So as I was working with the owner, Lisa Ramsey, to come up with the idea, I of course sent her a whole bunch of ideas, and several songs, Christian songs that I really loved. And the one that we landed on is called Oceans. It's also known as Where Feet May Fail. It's by Hillsong United, and it's beautiful. And that is what this says. I've used this multiple times. So it says, "You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery. In oceans deep, my faith will stand." And it just has all the lyrics to the whole song in sort of a really old-fashioned looking script to me. Okay, so I think this is mixed up good. So we worked on a 2-piece stencil, which is what my idea was. And I also suggested several different layering top pieces, like an anchor or a sailboat. And we landed on this lighthouse. What I love about this symbol is that the lighthouse has some nice Christian symbolism. It's a symbol of God's guidance, his protection, and the hope that we can get through Jesus Christ. And it also makes me think of one of my favorite Bible verses, which is from the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 105, that says, "Your word is a lamp unto my feet, a light unto my path." So that's kind of what the symbolism of the top layer is. And I think it's just turned out lovely. I basically just spoke with Lisa and gave her a few examples of what I would like, and she came up with everything else. So that was fun. Okay, so this is messy, just so you know. It's a messy craft. And what I'm going to be doing, let's see, where did I put my parchment paper? Excuse me. If you have a few little drips here and there, it's okay. I think that's part of what makes this a handmade gift. And you know, a tea towel is a great gift to bring anytime you're invited over for dinner, or just a little hostess gift. They're quick and easy to do, and just really a thoughtful, nice kind of a present. So, okay, let me just get all set here. I'm putting this parchment paper down to protect the edges of my tea towel. Okay, so to create an ombre effect, it's gonna go darker, medium, lighter. That's the idea. And you're just gonna start painting. Some of the ink that's diluted, some of it will seep under the masking tape, and that will kind of give you a sort of a blurry edge, which I think is a beautiful look. And you'll notice that in some places you're going to get kind of darker blobs, and that is nice too. That gives it some texture, I think. So I'm going to do about a third, a third, a third. And you can do this technique, this ombre technique, with diluted ink from Magnolia on all kinds of things. I've done my Bible study bag, has a stencil that has that verse from Psalm 119, and a blue ombre background. I've done multiple t-shirts, lots of different tea towels. So you can do a lot of different projects that have a really unique look to them using this ombre kind of look. Okay, so that's the first layer. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some paper towels, and I'm just gonna kind of pat it off just a little bit. It's gonna be really, really wet. So I'm gonna take you through this step, and then I have one that I worked on yesterday that will finish, so you'll be able to see the next step. Okay, and you are gonna have, you know, drips and stuff on your hands. So just be aware of that. Now I wanna add a little bit more water to my mixture to lighten it up some. We'll see, it says lighter yet. And you can save what you have left over in a jar for another project. But honestly, this does not use a ton of ink. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of try to blur the shift, the line from where I started. So it was really fun to be able to do this collaboration and be one of the first creators that that Magnolia did it with. And today, which is day 1 of Magnolia's 12 Days of Christmas, they have a really great special or deal or whatever you want to call it. And it is basically buy 2 regular price stencils and get a third one for free, which I think anytime you can get something for free, it's great. So basically what you would do to have that work for you is you would put 3 stencils in your shopping cart, and then when you check out, there'll be a little checkout screen towards the very end that you'll just click that you want to use the promotion, and it will take all of the cost of the third one off of your total. So that's a really good deal. It is going to be only on regular full price stencils. I'm adding some more water, and of course it will be the least expensive design will be your free one. So if you want to maximize that, you know, choose 3 that are roughly the same price. And then you'll be getting, you know, a free one that's like, don't choose 2 super big ones and then a 5x7. That's just my idea. I'm frugal. And if you can save a little money or get a really good deal, I think you absolutely should. So hopefully you can see how this is graduating from darker to lighter. That's what an ombre is. And I'm almost finished. And then what I will do after I'm done is I will let this dry fully. That's the hardest part, is waiting. And then I will heat set it with some parchment paper and a hot iron, probably set just a little bit lower than cotton, no steam. And I will heat set this layer before I move on to the next one. I'm gonna grab a little bit of darker pigment just to kind of pull in here and there. I'm just getting it off the edge of my okay, let's see. I need some more paper towels. If it's sunny where you are or warm at all, the quickest way to dry these is just to throw them out in the sun on a little cake board or something. You can also throw, once it's mostly dry, you can throw it in your dryer. But be cautious that you're not drying it with something that's white, for example, because the ink could still come off on something that it was being dried with. Okay, let me see, where can I put this? I'll put it right here. And then I will, when I'm all finished, I'll put it in a jar and I'll save it for my next project. I'm gonna show you what this looks like underneath. First of all, look how wet this is. Let's just put another layer layer down here real quick and pat it just a little bit more. And then we'll take the tape off and you'll see how it will bleed a little bit. One of the cutest projects that I did with ombre is I did a rectangle on the front of a t-shirt in a pink and sort of coral color. And then I stenciled over the top of it once it was dry. And then I did some on the bottom of my long sleeves. And it turned out fabulous. Okay. All right. So let me just show you what this is going to look like. It's going to dry nice and soft, and so long as you heat set it with a hot iron, each layer, it'll be totally washable, totally dryable, and totally usable. And you can see how mine has bled a little bit along the edges, even though I used masking tape to sort of get my boundaries set, but I like that look. Okay. And alternatively, you could do the whole bottom half of the tea towel, which is what I did with the other one. So isn't that pretty? When I do one of these ombres, I generally like to use white ink to do the stencil design over the top. So let me just set this over here. And move these out of the way. Okay, and let's go on to the next one that I've been working on. I'll show you the whole thing. This is what I have done so far. On this one, my ink looks like it must have been just a little bit darker. Up close, it's so pretty, but I did the whole bottom half of the tea towel. And I did the 3 layers of different lightened blue. And then I used this gorgeous stencil, this part of it, which is the script. And I just stenciled the center using white ink, which is my favorite, okay? So we're gonna finish it. And then I heat set it and yesterday, and it's all ready to go to have this final bit added to it, which is the lighthouse. And when Lisa and I were trying to decide what to call this stencil set, she suggested Lighthouse of Truth, and I loved that. It reminds me of that the light does reveal what is true, and how the truth is what can set us free. So anyway, so this is the second piece that goes on it. And honestly, you could lay it on here however you want. I think I'm gonna want mine sort of towards the bottom. I have a ruler, let me grab it, because I want to make sure it's centered. Not quite 7. A little bit more than 7. Let's shuffle it over to the side just a little bit. Okay, close enough. Okay, and I'm just going to press it down really good. Grab some more of this white ink and just going to give it a quick little stir. I'm going to put a blob on the top, which we'll put whatever is left over. Whatever we don't use, we'll throw it back in the jar. And as far as inking, I know some people are kind of afraid of it, but honestly, it's the same process as using chalk paste. The main things to know are that you want to get it on your stencil, and then you want to force yourself to stop. Right now I'm just pulling up any big globs. Okay. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to take a little peek. I always do that. Looks so good. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I was going to give this tea towel as a second part with the gift that I showed you here that I've been working on for Christmas for a family member, but I don't know if I'll be able to part with it. It's so beautiful. It's going to be so nice and soft. Let me throw this in my tub of water until I can get out to the kitchen to wash it off. I never let them soak very long. So just to summarize, this is the beautiful tea towel. It's gonna look fabulous folded and hanging over the oven door. It's kind of summery, I suppose, but it doesn't have to be because lighthouses are there, you know, to show the way all year long. But I think it's fabulous. I love this design. It's called Lighthouse of Truth. It's 2 pieces. You get the script, which you can use this just by itself for other projects. And then you get the top. Oh, and I got this tea towel out to show you. I made this a long time ago. And I used gray ink and then dark blue ink for the lighthouse. And unfortunately, my husband has used this a few times to clean the coffee pot and but anyways, it's still lovely. It's nice and soft. This ink dries and performs so nice. So it's called Lighthouse of Truth. And for day 1 of Magnolia's 12 days of deals, 12 days of Christmas, when you purchase 2 regular price stencils, you get the 3rd one for free. So you want to put 3 in your cart, and then when you go to check out, there'll be a screen, a little button that will pop up and ask if you want to take advantage of that deal. You're going to say yes or save or whatever that is, and it will take the price of the 3rd stencil completely off. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you have a blessed and wonderful month of Christmas.